were like, perfect. I'm like, I didn't want any of those thumbnails.
So we have a really bad thumbnail.
Well, I don't know if it's going to use it or not.
It is.
Well, we can go back and fix it because that was really bad. You guys, this is our first ever Talk Show Tuesday live edition.
This is our first YouTube video live. Which
YouTube
is
live.
so cool and exciting.
It's so exciting.
Which
I guess it is like, it's time.
it's totally time.
Like we've done Instagram live, Facebook live.
Yeah.
Why haven't we done YouTube live?
We saved the best for last.
We're hoping things go smoothly.
Yeah, because the thumbnail didn't go smooth.
So far, actually not so smooth.
Yeah, the thumbnail was like, ooh.
It makes you do this thumbnail, and it was like
We weren't prepared.
the worst angles. I'm hoping that this whole thing is an angle.
I
here.
know, you guys. If it is, just know we'll perfect it. We'll get there.
Whatever.
We'll get there.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
So we're here in Utah. Laura's in town
Yes.
for like just a quick
24 hours, and guess why I came here? To film a video.
Yes.
Because
That is dedication.
it is the dedication station over here.
Yeah,
In the MML corner.
it is.
But it had been too long. We just, obviously, like we said, we always ideally want to do videos together. But sometimes it's just going to be one of us. But we
Yeah.
were like, we need a vid with both of us.
We do.
End of story.
And on top of that, we wanted to talk about something that we've both been spending a lot of time
Mm-hmm.
talking about. And as you guys know, Laura posted a video a few weeks ago about her skincare, but also opened up a lot about how she's been struggling. And you guys have been so sweet and supportive.
So much love and support.
Yeah.
And it just is nice when people are like, same. Like,
Same.
it's so hard. Yeah, like,
So many samesies.
yeah.
So-
which is just so great.
I think we just wanted to, like, especially with so much going on in the world right now,
Yep.
like the fires in California, like shootings, like crazy stuff.
All those things, like, obviously when those things happen, it is so tragic. I mean, Carl and I
Yeah.
know a couple of people that their houses have burnt down, and those things definitely keep things in perspective, I feel like.
Yeah, totally.
But you also have, like, there's balance in that, because how you're feeling it's all relative,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to validate how you feel. And one of the things we were talking about, why we thought it would be important to talk about this now, is the holidays bring up so many difficult emotions, whether it's, just it makes you feel down, or you wish you had someone and you're
Yeah.
feeling lonely, or it's death, or it's a sickness, or it's just
It's hard to
financial stress, whatever it is.
yeah, it's hard to get family and friends together when you're struggling with, a relationship or, addiction or, family dynamics. It's just hard. And so, along
Yeah.
with everything else going on in the world, we're like,
Yeah.
we should probably share with our subscribers, like, some of our tips for handling stress, because I
Yeah.
think that stress is something all of us can relate to. We've all dealt with it. We've all felt it to some degree in
Yeah.
our life. And so it's really important to, to open up and talk about stress. And if you are someone who is battling with stress right now, you're struggling, we have some tips. We have some things that have worked for us.
Yeah.
We'd love for you to
Share
maybe
yours
share
even.
yours too, because we think that it's all about just opening up and sharing the love.
Yeah.
So I'll dive in first and talk a little bit about my experience with depression. And a lot of you guys are, I'm sure, very familiar with, like, the world of mental health, and how there's so many different opinions about it. But I have been on antidepressants since I was young, and so a few years ago I really wanted to get off of them. And it took me getting off of them to realize why I was on them. So
Which is-
I think our most important, my most important, bit of advice is, if you are taking antidepressants and you hate that you're taking them, I would work through that. I would maybe wean yourself off and see if maybe you feel better without them. But I'll tell you what, when you don't have them and you realize how amazing they are for you, like, I now take my antidepressants with so much love, and I'm so grateful for it, and I'm so happy that we have them. But for those of you who have any insecurities about taking antidepressants or going that route, if you really are in a really stuck place with depression or whatever, please don't be afraid of antidepressants, and please know that even if you've tried one and it didn't work for you, there's many out there, and you do have to kind of try them out to see what works for you. But I'm a big believer in like the power of antidepressants. So if you're someone struggling really hard, like really, it's really hard and deep right now, maybe open your mind to the thought of antidepressants, because for me personally, I know the battle. I know the battle of hating that you take them, but I also know the battle of not taking them and being like, my quality of life is so important and I know that I need it. So I take
I
Wellbutrin
love that.
lovingly every day.
I love that Michelle will open up about this, because I feel like a lot of people won't. And I just love that she's so honest and open. And I've never taken antidepressants, and I'm sure there's been moments or times where I could have used them, but I never have. I don't actually have a negative I don't think it's negative when people do, because when I was kind of going through that 2-week period when I was so low, if I felt that way for even 3 months straight, I would be like, I will do anything to just feel good and normal. And obviously we aren't doctors and we're not making any recommendations for anyone, but I do love that there should never be shame around that. And I love that she's so honest and open about it. I think it's
no
so
shame
great.
in that. So that truly is my first bit of advice, is if you haven't experimented with the idea of maybe meeting with the doctor to see if that is a good direction for you, maybe do that. That's all.
Yeah, I love that. I mean,
Right?
anything. Yes,
Be
100%.
open to that idea.
I love that. No, I think it's important too.
One of my other tips that I really have found to be like really helpful in managing my stress, on top of taking antidepressants, is meditation. And that's something that I've really been practicing like diligently. Mike and I both have for like a month now, but I've been practicing meditation for over 2 years, but I've been recently practicing transcendental meditation like consistently. But really the value in it comes from really being able to kind of like slow down your thoughts, quiet your mind, and stay as present as you can for that period of time. And in doing so consistently, you will find that you are able to find more of the present moment in throughout the day when you're not meditating, right? So that is one thing that I would really recommend. If you don't have a meditation practice that you are working with right now, find one. There's really great apps. There's really great
there's so many great tools now to
yeah,
help
like
you do it.
YouTube has really great guided meditations. There's so many things that you can do now, but there are so many benefits, scientifically proven benefits to help you manage your stress, and that has been a godsend for me.
Yeah, when I'm doing it, and I can't actually wait to try the
Transcendental. I know.
transcendental meditation.
Yeah.
I'm like really intrigued with it, but I really do notice a difference when I don't meditate. I do. I feel like it grounds you, or just there's a little bit more sense of calm, even if you are going through the most crazy times. There's just something to that. I think it's a great self-care practice that is free.
Yeah.
Also
Free.
that is amazing.
Yeah.
And I do think that there's a lot of power in that. And I also think doing things, I mean, when she called me when I was going through that hard time, one of the things that, this is kind of going back to the beginning just quick, when we were talking about that, she brought up such an important point that she said, I think for so long, at least for like the last year, if not, more than that. But she's like, I think you've been really living with this like low grade stress where you have, this constant stress, and you don't realize the toll it's playing on, your heart, your mind, your soul, your quality of life. And that like really rung true to me when she said that. And I was like, you're right. It's become so normal.
It becomes a part of you. It becomes a part of your personality. It becomes like, and you don't even realize it. And the only way that I'm actually even able to realize it is because I've been able to pull out of it and then look back and be like, oh my gosh,
Oh yeah.
that was insanity. I didn't even realize I was living in insanity.
Yeah.
I can't believe that I survived that. But when you're in it,
Yeah.
you can't see it.
Mhm.
You can't see
No.
out of it because it's become such a part of your life. You just learn to deal with the stress. And the truth
Mhm.
of the matter is, you guys, you don't have to live in stress. It is
No.
not something, it is a choice. And as hard as that is to hear, like, we really do have the ability to become more present and more self-aware and be able to decide, like, am I going to continue to overcommit to things? Because it turns out
Right. Little things
this
can
isn't
add up
actually
to
bringing
big.
me joy, it's bringing
Yeah.
me stress. You get to choose, and you get to choose to answer the phone when your mother-in-law calls. You get to choose to not answer the phone. You get to choose to continue to hang out with people who don't lift you up. You get to choose. These are all little choices that you get to make every single day, and no one can do it for you. You
Right.
have to just decide, like, I won't live this way anymore.
Yeah.
And it starts with those little things that you do.
I know one of the things is, like, for me that helps too is journaling. And I was kind of even looking at it as, okay, what are things short term that are going to make me feel better? And what are things long term that I can do to help so that I don't have this underlying stress? You know, how is it that I can make real change in my life to not have that be going on?
Yeah.
But I do think, like, whatever it is you're going through, because, you know, whether it is you're feeling lonely at this time of year, you're, you know, you lost your job, or it's, you know, death, or all the things that we were talking about, I think one of the things that has worked for me too, besides the journaling, is, and the meditation and all the things, is having perspective of, I always tell myself, like, your job today is to get through today. Like, what are you gonna do to just, you just need to get through today? Because I think one of the things that happens with me, and I think a lot of people, is you think, oh my gosh, like, it's gonna be Thanksgiving, and then there's gonna be Christmas parties, and then it's Christmas, and then it's New Year's, and if I feel lonely now, and then I'm gonna have to go to all these things, and I'm not saying, I just was talking to someone before we did this video, and she was telling me how she broke down and just said, I'm so sad, I feel so lonely, because she just went through a breakup. And so that's really relevant on my mind, and so that's the example I'm giving. But I do think that it's the perfect example of, yeah, you can sit and think all of these days are gonna be hard, but that's gonna make you feel worse and overwhelmed. So whatever time of year it is, or whatever I'm going through in my life, if I just say, you know what, my job today is to make today as good as I can make it, and just to get through today. I only have to focus on today. And the other thing that I think is really helpful, that Michelle and I talk about a lot, is that Michelle will remind me to do, because I feel like I try and avoid pain, is she'll say, like, you just need to lean into the pain. And sometimes you do. You just need to cry it out. You need to feel it. You need to really process it so you can release it. You know, whatever it is. Like, if you're sad, like, honor those feelings. If you're really stressed, and or you don't, you know, you're unhappy with something in your life, or you wished your family situation was different, like, that's okay to mourn and acknowledge those feelings, and, you know, to lean into it so you can move past it.
Yeah, it's really important to be able to allow yourself to feel the feelings and let it kind of work through you, so it doesn't get stuck inside of you. You know, I think it's easy to hold on to these, like, pains that we've been through in our life, and they like become part of us, when in fact it is important to feel the pain. It's important to feel the sadness, but it's important to release it. Like, allow yourself to feel the pain, and then let it move through you, and then release it. And, you know, whether you have, like, a therapist or a best friend, or you know, even journaling, like Laura said, like, getting it out, talking about it, like, is so important. Even if you say it out loud to yourself, like,
It's true.
I am sad. I am hurting. This was hard. Like releasing those things, like actually through words, is actually really, really healing. And um, so, one thing that I was just introduced to recently is this app called Talkspace, and it's a therapist on your phone. Like it's a cell phone therapist. Where
She
you
just
get
told me
your
about
text.
this. I'm like, this is so cool.
It's like brilliant. So
Mhm.
I have a few friends who have been doing it and they've loved it. So if you're someone who just needs to talk to someone, but you don't necessarily have time to like go and see a therapist and or whatever, there are options for you like that are actually really effective just by texting. So I think that's
so
really
cool.
important too.
And what's it called again?
Talkspace.
Talkspace. I think that is such
I
a
know,
brilliant
right?
idea because it is like it's good to, feel validated or just have someone help you like get from where you are to where you want to
Yeah.
be and get through all that, get through that process together.
Right. And whether it's the holidays or
not.
just like, March
Yeah.
or April. It's like
Exactly.
we focus so much on like, that's what's so hard is when you're really struggling and really hurting and it's like this time of year and the commercials and the music and you look around and everyone's happy and doing so good and it's this time of year and
You
it's like,
sensationalize everyone's life
yes,
and you
meanwhile you are hurting and you are suffering and
Mhm.
you are not doing well. It's like, it makes it even worse. And so it's really important this time of year to just acknowledge that you do have stress, acknowledge that you need help, acknowledge that you like things aren't going the way you thought, and then push through it. And just know, like, I think gratitude is one of the most powerful tools to help pull us out of like negative loops and like negative thought patterns. Like
I
going to
agree.
gratitude, it's so powerful. Like
And it sounds so simple, but it is so true.
yeah, especially when you go deeper into like not just like the surface stuff, but,
Right.
like, I'm so grateful for the feeling of grass between my toes, and then like you go there and you feel it, and it's like you fill your whole body up with gratitude. You use your senses, you use your, and you really, it's amazing. Your whole physiological like makeup will shift, and you can feel the vibrational like shift. You guys, our thoughts are
So
so powerful. Can I
powerful.
say something that might be inappropriate? It's actually
Sure.
not inappropriate at all.
Totally.
It's actually just a fact and super fascinating. Also, I just realized we kept it on unlisted. We didn't do it public, so no one's here watching us, which is fine. Y'all can watch later. Now we know.
Sirs.
Yeah. Oops, sirs.
Word that will.
But can you imagine all the swirling that would be going on with all the
I
people?
know.
So it's fine. This
Maybe
is a
it's
good
good
practice
we're
run.
focusing. Yeah, this
is a
is
good practice
and then
run.
we'll do it
Especially
again.
for a topic like this.
Yeah,
It actually
sure.
might be good. Okay, so this is how powerful your thoughts are. You can be thinking. You can be like thinking
Really getting
about
excited for this.
sex. You can be
I
thinking
love thinking about that.
about you're not even with your partner. You're not even with your significant other. You can just close your eyes and think about it. And your brain does not know the difference
Stop.
of whether it's really happening or in your mind. Your brain does not know, your body doesn't know the difference. So that's why when you sit and you think about sex, your whole body gets aroused. You can think about it. For guys, it like things happen, and like
Girls too.
you're in your brain, it thinks that you are having sex at that moment, right? That is the power of your thoughts, and that's the best example
That's
I
a
can
good
find
example.
for like the power of your thoughts, because your body responds to what you're thinking. So when you are thinking negative thoughts all day long, you guys, your body responds to that.
It's absorbing it. It's like
through stress, it diminishes your power. Like your organs aren't vibrating high. Your body isn't, like it affects your whole body. And for some reason, that analogy for me was like, oh my gosh, that's so true.
It does like signify. It does really
It's like
signify
I
how
can just think about
powerful
it.
it is.
My body changes, and it is as if I was in the moment of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same thing with like when you think about
I love that.
like
analogy.
your nieces and
Oh yeah.
nephew. You know what I mean? Like you can stop and you sit and think about how much you love them, and you guys, you feel your whole body feel.
It changes, it shifts. Yeah.
And it's because your brain doesn't know that that's not really happening. It's just what you're thinking. Same movie and it's not real.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you're crying. It's like
It's so real.
your body and your mind, it believes it's real. That is why it's so important to pull ourselves out of those negative thoughts as soon as we can, or do our best to go back to gratitude, because it truly does. I think it makes us sick. I mean, stress really does make us sick.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and that's one of the things, like, because we're both kind of thinking of the things that we do to, change the course of, pulling ourselves out of a stressful or low place or filling up our cup. And one of mine was, what comes out of your mouth comes into your world. And it's like, if you always say, especially this time of year, if you're always saying like, I'm so busy, I'm so busy, I'm so busy, you're gonna like feel stressed and disheveled and like all of this, and you're creating this chaos almost. And so I was catching myself like in the summer, I don't know, several different times where I kept saying like, I'm so busy. And it was like, there's such a negative connotation to that.
well, it depends.
You know what I
Some
mean?
people find validation in that.
Right. But I was feeling like that feels negative.
Yeah.
Like when you say it.
Yeah.
And so it's so funny. I switched the words. And so instead of saying busy, I said full. So I would say like, my schedule's really full right now.
Oh, cool.
And I'm loving it. Like I would way rather be busy once
Full.
again. Like
Yeah.
I would way rather have a full schedule. And so
So
I did. I
powerful.
would say like, like, how are you? I'm really great. My schedule's really full.
Yeah.
But it's, I made a point to not use the word busy, and there was like this huge shift with me. And then it's the same thing with like, when you're like, I'm having the hardest time, or I'm so this, or I'm so that. And I will never forget, I was in this mindset because I always try to figure out ways to like pull myself out of it. And really the words are so huge, and the self-talk. And I ran into a friend of mine, and he was like, how are you? And in my mind, I was like gonna burst into tears. Like, shit's bad. Actually, like my heart's broken. I'm devastated. And this was like a few years ago. I'll never forget. And I said, so many things are good. And he was like, that's maybe the funniest and best answer I've ever heard. And I was like, but no, like seriously, so many things are good.
Yeah.
And he's like, same.
Yeah.
Like, and you could just
It's
tell
powerful.
he felt this like, I
love
want to
that.
fall apart. One of my friends listened to it for 6 months. She's like, I'm never gonna find anyone. And I finally one time said, you're right, you're not. She was the maddest. And I was like, but you're not.
No.
Like, you keep telling yourself every day you're not. And I am not. I don't think like if I say I'm gonna get $1 million 3 times, it's gonna fall into my lap. Like I know there has to be action behind the words, but it starts with what comes out of your mouth. And so I think like positive self-talk helps.
Yeah. I definitely think like, for a lot of people, it's like you have to see it to believe it, but I really do think you have to believe it to see it. And that's where it starts, like you said, with changing your thoughts. And like, if you keep saying, I'm never going to find anyone, you won't. Like, it's interesting. You do have to find just a better feeling thought, something that just feels a little bit better. And then you could move yourself up that vibrational scale to get to where you really genuinely do feel like, my life is amazing. And but you can't go from like, my life sucks to my life is unbelievable overnight. You have to work yourself up that ladder. So I don't know, I think that there's so many things, so many like ways that we can all help lift each other up. And we really just wanted to share a few of the things that have worked for us with you guys. And we want to know if you guys want more of these kind of conversations. Like, we're so down with talking about this stuff for hours on end.
We could talk about this forever. And surrounding yourself with good people is
Yeah.
one of the ways that it really helps.
Yeah,
too.
and truly, if you guys don't have high vibrating people in your life, it would be better for you to log on to YouTube, get on our channel, and hang out with us virtually.
We'll
Then
hang
be
out
around any
anytime
of
you
your real friends that are low vibrating. I'm telling you, like, you are who you hang out with. So hang out
It's
with
true.
us more.
We would love to hang out with you. And
We're a good time.
totally. And the other like quick little things,
Yeah.
we were both saying watching Sex in the City
Oh.
totally makes a bad day low day for us. And it sometimes it's just like you need to escape for a second and just
There are certain things, whether it's a song,
music.
like a Netflix series, like pull
A
the
book.
self-care, like take a bath, take care of yourselves.
Yeah.
And like really truly it is so important to really take care of our like emotional well-being. So
Yeah.
we love you guys.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we love you guys
Can
so
you believe
much.
Laura's going back to LA tonight?
I know. I hate
So
it.
done, but I'm actually going out to LA next week, so time.
I know, you guys. We're gonna be together next week, and we hope you guys like this video.
I know we love you guys.
And we hope you have a happy Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, happy Thanksgiving. I wonder how you get out of here. Do
I
you
know,
think
we're
you
like,
push
what's
that? I
new?
feel like
Wait,
the
but then
X
it's like,
might
how
not.
do we make sure we take live?
Hold on, let me push this button first. Share.
Share. Yes. Okay. Oh.
No.
Not yet. No. Not
I think we
that.
have to
Okay.
push X.
Yeah. Let's do it. Scared. Are you
Yeah,
sure you
we're
want-
sure. We sure you want to say? Yep. Okay, bye.